Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to day 5 of my 31 Days of October marathon. So now that we are on day 5 of my 31 Days of Horror movie reviews, now it's time for me to review the 5th film of my 31 Days of October. And of course, you can tell by the title, that review is going to be on this film. Bats. As you can see, my Bats DVD, I got this signed this past weekend, or last weekend I should say, by Lou Diamond Phillips, which was really cool. That was a dream come true for me. I'll get into that when I do my Monster Mania update at some point after this marathon. Anyways, Bats was a film that was released in 1999. Like I said before, Lou Diamond Phillips was awesome. But I'll get into more of that when I do my update on Monster Mania. But this was released in 1999, directed by Louis Morneau. Same guy that same guy that did The Hitcher 2, I've Been Waiting, with Jake Busey. He's done a couple other films too, but this stars Lou Diamond Phillips. You also have Dina Meyer from Starship Troopers. You have Leon, who was in Cliffhanger, and you have Bob Boonton as kind of your villain of your film, you know, the evil warden from The Shawshank Redemption, among others. But the story is very, very simple with this film. Basically, it takes place in a small town in Texas. In the beginning of the film, you see this couple out in their car. The boyfriend thinks there's something going on, so he goes outside to investigate, and then he gets attacked by the bats, and then the girlfriend gets attacked and all that stuff, and then you go to the present day, and then you see Dina Meyer's character, who's this bat expert who's in a cave, and her assistant is actually played by Leon, and then she gets called into this small town in Texas where you have the local sheriff played by Lou Diamond Phillips, and basically you find out these bats are terrorizing this small town in Texas, and it's up to these 3 leads right here. It's up to these 3 guys here to stop them. And that's pretty much the plot of the film. Now, this film for me, I have a lot of fond childhood memories with this film. Of course, I didn't see the R-rated version until much later. I always watched the PG-13 cut, because I think they always played the PG-13 version a lot back then on TV, but on DVD it was rated R. Because I think this film was supposed to be rated R, then they cut it to PG-13 for the theaters. But like I said before, I have a really pretty interesting backstory with this film when this was new back in '99, because I remember seeing a lot of advertisements for this film back on pay-per-view. Back when pay-per-view was pretty big. I don't really know if pay-per-view is like really that big anymore, but pay-per-view always played commercials for like this film on there. And also on top of that too, I remember like even the trailer was really cool. It was a very simple trailer, like with no dialogue, no nothing. But basically, another interesting thing about this film is that I remember one day I was around I think in like kindergarten when this came out in '99, pre-K kindergarten, something like that. I was 5 years old when this film came out in October of '99, and I remember being out in the schoolyard one day, and then like every so often a bus would ride down the road where my preschool was, and I remember on the bus they had a poster of this movie, this poster here, and I remember I remember running up to one of the moderators who was watching all the kids in the play area. And I was like, oh my god, it's Bats, like, because I saw the trailer so many times as a kid. I was like, ooh, and I was really, really fascinated with the poster. I always thought it was a cool looking poster. And on top of that too, I mean, I remember, I was like, oh my god, look, it's Bats, like, oh my god. And then I remember, like, one of the moderators is saying, I wonder why the title's upside down. Like, that doesn't seem right. Well, I'm thinking to myself, well, it's upside down because bats hang upside down. So, it makes a lot of sense. So that's kind of my backstory with this film. But getting onto the actual film itself, I know it's a little bit off topic, that little portion right there, but I really do enjoy this film. I would say it's personally one of my favorite creature feature horror films, and it's probably my favorite film dealing with bats. I think Lou Diamond Phillips does a great job as the sheriff. I really like Dina Meyer as the bat expert. I like Leon. He was comic relief in the film, but I thought he had some pretty funny moments. Bob Goonson is pretty much your bad guy in the film, and all that stuff. And the bats too. I mean, the bats have some pretty good practical effects too. Because I know that this film gets trashed on a lot. I think it gets like a 3 point something out of 10 on IMDb, and I'm like, this film's not that like a 3 point something bad. I mean, I've seen way worse films than this. Believe me. I think, like I said before, this is my favorite film dealing with bats. It's a film that I've known from my childhood ever since I saw the trailers for this. I remember loving the poster as a kid, but of course, I saw the PG-13 version when I was a kid. I didn't see the R-rated version because the R-rated version puts in more gore, more language, things like that. Especially with like the Leon's character, you know. I'll tell you what's it's all messed up, you know. I love the way that like some of the reactions that Leon has. It's pretty funny. But like I said before, I think the effects on the bats are pretty well done, especially for a low budget movie. Because I know this film didn't have much of a budget behind it, but you know, I think the effects are pretty good. For 1999. You get some CGI in there as well, but you get some good practical effects too. And I think this film does a great job. I mean, it's a really great attack scenes, like especially in this one scene when everybody's out in the open in the town and all the bats are swooping down on everybody, things like that. You have like a scene inside of like a store where a person is being haunted by a bat, and they're trying to get it. And the whole finale, too, of where they go into where the cave is full of bats, and then the whole finale from there was a lot of fun. And one of the other things I like about this film, too, is that it ends with no sequel bait ending, which I like, because I don't think you really need a sequel to this film, even though there was sort of an unrelated sequel to this film that was made for Sci-Fi, a thing called Bats Human Harvest, which I saw once and was not impressed. This is far better in my opinion. Because you know, I really like Lou Diamond Phillips. I mean, Lou Diamond Phillips is an actor I really do enjoy. Lou Diamond Phillips, you know, Young Guns, The First Power, Route 666, many more. And like I said, he was awesome to meet at Monstermania. Dina Meyer, really pretty good actress in my opinion. You know, Starship Troopers, the Saw films, many others. Leon, I thought for comic relief he was pretty funny. You know, Bob Goonson, you know, is a legend. You know, Shawshank Redemption, among others. Really good practical effects done on the bats themselves. Really great attack scenes. It's directed pretty decently by Louis Morneau. It's a pretty decent job in the directing department. And on top of that too, the film's got a good sense of humor to it as well, so it doesn't take itself too seriously in some parts, which I thought was a lot of fun. Because they know it's about killer bats. Like, come on, you know, you gotta have some fun with that concept. But yeah, but this film has a lot going for it. I like the cast. I like I like the effects. It has some really great attack scenes in the film and all that stuff. I mean, this film has a lot going for it. I grew up with this film. It's a childhood favorite of mine, and I still love it to this day. So I don't really know much more I can say about bats. I mean, if you want a fun creature feature film, I highly recommend you give this a look. So that is it for my review for Bats, and thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Alright guys, take care.